Hello, my dear friends. I hope you all are well, and I hope that you could hear me okay. Let me know down in the comments below if you could hear me. Tonight, as you see, I'm working with my two phones because I am not at my office at this time. But I wanted to share this information with you because I think that this is something worthwhile into looking at, especially if you have thyroid issues. If you ever went to the doctor and found out that you have, high TSH levels, that determined you to be hypothyroid, or even so, low TSH levels that determined you to be diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. I just wanted to share a couple of things with you because I think this is a breakthrough of some of my search for answers. And for those that have done their journey or started their journey or are looking to heal themselves without any types of pharmaceuticals, pills, etc., I think this is also going to be very beneficial for you to listen into, because I want to be able to give you guys a foundation on being able to find answers for yourself, and get deep in cognitive thinking and in critical thinking into finding out about these things. Okay. So I just want to show you a couple things, because tonight what I was doing, I was looking at, I don't know if you guys know, but if you have a parasitic infection, okay, inside of your body, right? White blood cells are the ones that take care of any of these creatures, or any of these organisms, any of these microbes, any of these hemiths, any of these little living entities. All right. Now, doctors are going to make so many names for the same thing. Okay. So this is why I always try to bring up as many names as I can for you guys to understand, what it fundamentally goes down into. Okay. Because the thing is like, I'm coming to know that there's a lot of manipulation in the medical industry to keep us basically in the vicious cycle of having to be, in the vicious cycle of going to the hospitals and thinking we need help in the first place. Okay. So when we look at white blood cells, right, we're told and we're taught, okay, and there's peer-reviewed studies, there's multiple organizations, hospitals that determine of what white blood cells are, okay? And if you guys are at least a little bit, in the knowing of, I don't want to say educated, but I'm going to use the word educated. If you guys are in any knowing or in any education of, a little bit of biology, I hope you could follow along with me. All right. So with what we know about white blood cells, right? They're the main active entities, microorganisms inside our bodies that fight for us, right? That kill parasites, that kill microbes, okay? That kill bacteriums, all right? Which basically fundamentally are all the same things, because bacteriums are microbes, they're living organisms that we could determine that, organizations, researchers, doctors, scientists have determined to be alive. Okay. So microorganisms, microbes, parasites, they're all the same groups of entities. Okay. So they're just microbes, right? So our white blood cells are alive within us, right? That kill or that function to destroy white blood cells. Well, why does this matter to you? I'm going to show you why this should matter to you if you have any type of issues with your thyroid. And follow along with me here, okay? I was just doing a simple research tonight about, which I hate research because, research just loops you back into bullshit. But I like to just tell you everything that I've came across, all right? Just for you guys to be able to determine it for yourself, whether what I'm saying is congruent to what you found in your journey in healing or if it's not, all right? I was just doing a little simple search about, does boiling water really kill microbes, right? Because I was just looking up under my microscope, whatever. So, yes, all right, cool. So I remember there was a doctor that I follow that mentioned that this specific type of white blood cell, okay, is what kills parasites. So in order to see whether or not you have parasites inside of your body on a microscopic level, okay, is to look upon your blood panel whenever you go to the doctor and you get a regular CBC chemistry, okay, a regular blood, panel, all right? They would show you, they would show you, your white blood cell count. And underneath your white blood cell count, you would see eosinophils, all right? Eosinophils are basically a white blood cell, all right, that is distinguished and determined in killing Hemith's infections, okay? In vitro stages, all right? In the smallest type of microscopic type of stage, all right? So this is one of the ways Thank you everyone that has been commenting. I really greatly appreciate it. I think if you have thyroid concerns, I really want you to pay attention. I please share this out to anyone that that might have a thyroid problem. I think this is literally gonna change a lot of people's mind and perspective about what they do to us. But let me just break this down further, all right? When it comes to the eosinophils, right? There are certain white blood cells that have been shown to respond to Hemith infections, parasitic worms infection, larval stages of infection, microscopic stages of infection, okay? Now, I was looking upon this white blood cell because I wanted to know a little bit more about this white blood cell, right? And here it goes again with saying, because I kind of screenshotted these things, and these is from governmental websites and peer-reviewed data information, by the way. These eosinophils, right, which are the leukocytes, which are the white blood cells, right, they host a protection against parasitic worms. So if you have the eosinophil value in your blood panel, you would see on whether or not you have parasites, okay? Now, this goes further into talking about how, eosinophils react to the immune system. It reacts with the immune system. Now, as a researcher, or somebody that searches for answers, I have come to know that what they talk about, at least for the medical industry, when they talk about immune system, that's a whole made up system. They made that up. They literally made it up. It's a word that is just, grouping in for these bacteriums, for these cells to have you confused and make you think that, it exists, but it doesn't exist. What exists is looking at things and observing things on a microscopic, teeny tiny, the smallest level, right? So going forward, we're trying to explain you this. These eosinophils, which are these white blood cells, right, that you could literally see under a microscope, all right? You could literally get you a $400 microscope and see this for yourself, okay, with your own pupils, and you'll be able to see that these eosinophils in areas where you're inflamed would pop up. Okay, because they respond to inflamed areas. Okay, so now this is making me think upon goiters. Have you ever went to your doctor, got diagnosed with a thyroid problem, and walked in with them telling you, hey, you got a goiter, or hey, you got an inflamed, a thyroid? Has anyone ever gone to the doctor? If anyone could comment down below, please. Yes, I could read blood panels for those, for Miss Vixen. Yes, I could read blood panels. Thank you for sharing this live, everyone. Yes. Okay. Yes. I have Hashimoto's, but not a goiter. Okay. No problem. No problem. Okay. So thank you for commenting. So these eosinophils, they give out a response. Okay. They are the main white blood cell. Okay. That carry a response. Okay. And basically activating your inflammation in your body. Okay. And you could see this here, right? Because they kill the parasites of where they're at. And I'm going to get deeper in this. All right. But they basically bring upon the body to experience a symptom or a response. And that's with inflammation. Okay. Follow along with me here. Okay. Now, it was shown, on a scientific experiment that the reasons why eosinophils bring on a inflammatory symptom is because they themselves, okay, the eosinophils themselves are degranulating. Okay, what does that mean, degranulating? Well, eosinophils have proteins within them, okay, that they store, all right? And actually, do you guys mind? Let me get a piece of paper so I could draw this out for you, okay? Give me 1 second. Let me get a piece of paper because this is going to be very, I think this would really, really benefit for each and every one of you all to, get into an understanding about, okay? Give me a second. All right. Give me a second, my love. And thank you for being patient with me. Okay. So, I have a piece of paper here. So, when it comes to these white blood cells, okay? I'm going to write it down here. White blood cell. Which one white blood cell, the ones that we're talking about, are the eosinophils. Eosinophils. Okay? Now, these eosinophils, sorry, let me turn on the light for you guys to see better. Okay. These eosinophils, okay? These are your white blood cells. This is just a type of white blood cell, okay? These eosinophils have a lot under the microscope. You could observe this yourself if you have a microscope at home, okay? But they literally have a lot of purpley looking proteins that are attached, okay? All right? A lot of them, right? Okay. Well, what they do, what these cells in your body do, is they degranulate. Okay, and what does that mean? Well, that means that one of these cells, or one of these proteins basically pops. Okay? It pops, literally, like a fucking pimple, all right? So with it popping or degranulating, okay, it is able to bring out what? oxygen, okay? But not the oxygen that you think, all right? Not the type of oxygen that we breathe in, okay? But hydrogen peroxide, okay? So here we got this eosinophil, right? Which is a white blood cell that has a lot of these proteins that it carries within it, okay? And whenever it sees, let's say this is a microbe or a bacterium, okay, right? What happens is this white blood cell comes near it, right? And it pops one of these things, right? To basically kill that off. Why does it do that? Well, because bacteriums, okay, or little microbes, right? Whenever there's oxygen, right, it basically destroys them. It basically pops them. It pops them away. It literally atomic bombs them, all right, on a microscopic level, okay? And this is what is shown and what they say to be for this eosinophil, the white blood cell, to degranulate. All right. The degranulation process is just it removing one of its protein that it's been carrying, one of its bombs that it's been carrying, okay, to throw it at the parasite, okay, at the bad microbe, okay, at the bad organism, to pop it and destroy it, okay? And in the ways that atomic little bomb that it carries, it does it in the way of hydrogen peroxide, okay? All right, I hope you're following with me here, okay? Now, this is what causes, by the way, this is what causes an immune response, okay? Whenever you have, like, let's say you have, your arm, okay? Let's say this is your arm, right? And something bit you. Let's say an animal bit you, right? Let's say a dog bit you or whatever, right? These white blood cells, as well as your red blood cells, they start coming to this place, right? And then these eosinophils, okay, these white blood cells start throwing atomic bombs, all right? This is what is allergic reactions. This is what is symptoms, right? This is when you see the redness, the itchiness, the uncomfortable feeling, the discomfort, okay? That is the immune response. So let me just continue here. Now, what happens is these eosinophils, right, as I mentioned to you, they go through a process of degranulation, all right? And this is showing you a little bit more of the experiments they've conducted about how these eosinophils do that process, all right? So that was just a little bit more of information there, okay? So it was speaking on here about that degranulation and what happens. Just like we mentioned, what happens is it brings on a defensive, offensive response and pops these things, okay? Now, this is where I want to talk to you about the thyroid and how that relates, okay? So here we go. What is the main function of eosinophils? Eosinophils' functions include, Eosinophils' functions include the movement to inflamed areas, okay? Just like I was mentioning to you, all right? And this is all the information. You could look this up yourself, okay? Same thing here. They contribute, okay, to adding the immune response and killing viruses, bacteria, funguses, and parasitic diseases, right? This is already telling you that this is all the same shit. parasites are all the same shit as with viruses and bacteria. This is literally telling you, and this is a governmental website, okay? That's telling you that they're all the same thing. All right? When I was looking upon the atomic little bomb that these eosinophils throw, I was trying to find out, what are these things made out of? What is these little granules made out of? And this is where I found that information. It is made by the eosinophil, but they're proteins that carry peroxidase. Now, for those that have thyroid problems, have they ever checked your thyroid peroxidase? Has anyone ever got their thyroid peroxidase, their TPO numbers checked whenever they were distinguished or diagnosed with a thyroid problem? If you could comment down below, please. Does anyone know what I'm talking about at all? Does anyone know what I'm talking about at all? For anyone that has thyroid problems, when you go to the doctor and they took your blood panel, did they ever tell you that you have high thyroid peroxidase, high thyroid, what they call TPO? They never told you what they tested for? Yeah. Okay. Well, whenever you take a blood panel, okay, they test for TSH. Okay, usually. But along that TSH, they also check your thyroid peroxidase to see what is going on with your thyroid. And then they mark that as being autoimmune. Has anyone ever got that? It's very, very common. No, a TPO is not going to be on a CBC, but it will be on a thyroid panel. It should be on a thyroid panel. If your TPO is high, that's when they say, hey, you have an autoimmune disorder. Okay? But I'm going to tell you something about this. Okay? I'm going to tell you something about this. All right? The proteins, all right? The proteins that the eosinophil goes ahead and explodes, right? That uses as a bomb to kill those viruses, right? Is under the name peroxidase, right? Okay, cool. They're the ones that basically produce this to kill. All right? Eosinophils produce peroxidase in order to kill, okay? In order to explode bacteria, viruses, and parasites, okay? Now, what is peroxidase? Well, going further and telling you about this, peroxidase is basically your own hydrogen peroxide, okay? Have you ever gotten a cut and put hydrogen peroxide on it? Let me show you hydrogen peroxide. For those that don't know. Okay? Have you ever seen hydrogen peroxide in your life? Have you ever seen that in your life? Okay, great. This is 3% hydrogen peroxide. Well, let me tell you that you make hydrogen peroxide inside of your body. Okay? This cell, the eosinophil, produces hydrogen peroxide inside of your body. Okay? And mind you, it's kind of funny because this is made with 3%. And it kills a lot of bacteria. Just 3%. Okay? This product, okay? This manufactured pharmaceutical product is an antiseptic, okay? And it's only 3%. All right? Now, imagine what your eosinophils do. Okay? Your eosinophils, they put in all their work. They put in 100%. Now, mind you, they're very tiny. These cells are tiny. But all their life is into doing is literally producing hydrogen peroxide. Okay? All right. So, another word for hydrogen peroxide, okay, is peroxidase. Okay? Literally. All right? So, what does this mean to you? I'll go forward. I'll tell you. Allow me a moment. Here we go. So, the activation of hydrogen peroxide by heme peroxidase, which is the cell that we were just talking about, okay? The cells that we were just talking about, because these cells, okay, heme in chemistry just means that there is an iron-containing component to the cell, okay? Sorry, my screen keeps on shutting off and it makes me upset, but I'm going to continue. So, the peroxidase generates itself, right? And it is able to basically abstract electrons, which is a phenomenon. It's a miracle. It's a nice thing that these cells are able into doing. They're able to start touching base with atoms. Do you know what atoms are, my dear friends? Do you guys know what atoms are? They're the smallest known understanding in physics and in physics. Okay? In physics. All right? So literally your cell is working with atoms. Okay? Here it goes. It generates an intermediate species. Okay? So this is basically telling us, and look, this is from Science Direct. All right? This is no bullshit. This is real talk. And follow along with me here. Okay? Basically, your cell produces another species. Okay? Of its kind. All right? That is able to abstract electrons. All right? That is able to abstract electrons from an atom. Okay? In order to produce bacteria and fungi, right? Now, this is where it gets fucking crazy. Okay? This is where it gets fucking crazy. Okay? Okay. Here it shows, going back to the thyroid peroxidase, which is understood to be TPO, is relegated to the cisternae of the granular endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. Okay? Let's go further, because that's a lot of scientific words that a lot of us are not going to understand, okay? Especially if they're not into biochemistry, but we're going to continue, okay? Thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH appears to play a key role in the regulation of TPO, okay? For those that have hypothyroid, who has hypothyroid? Because I'm going to blow your fucking mind. Who has hypothyroid? thyroid or hyperthyroid? Comment down below, because this is going to blow your fucking mind. And it's literally right in front of our face. Okay? Check this shit out. If you ever got your TSH, right? Which is the hormone that they check for. Okay? It plays a key role in regulating the TPO levels and activity in the thyroid gland. Okay? The enzyme is activated at release and functions both in the organification reaction. Something that will blow your fucking mind. This word right here, organification, says it all. Organification is a biochemical process that takes place in thyroid gland. It is the incorporation of iodine into thyroid globulin for the production of thyroid hormone, a step done after the oxidation of iodide by the enzyme thyroid peroxidase. Right? This is what I just read, right? Here it goes. What does organification mean? It is the process of an organ formating. Does anyone understand what I'm saying? Does anyone understand what I'm saying? Because I just basically blew my own fucking mind. Did I blow your mind? Did anyone get it? No? Okay, let me explain it again. Okay? Organification is the process of an organ formating. Organification is the process of an organ formating. What does that mean? Whenever you have high TPO and they label you as having an immune problem, TPO autoimmune disorder, it's not that the TPO is killing okay, so basically the doctors say that it is an autoimmune response because your body is attacking itself. They say that the body is attacking itself. The body is not attacking itself. It's actually formating itself into growing and processing it back to function. This basically what I'm saying is that this was all a lie. This whole bullshit, this whole TPO stuff, all this autoimmune stuff, autoimmune Hashimoto's, autoimmune Graves' disease. What they say is your body attacking itself is a fucking huge lie. It's the organ repairing itself. It's what they call organification, for fuck's sake. A word that I never heard in my life before. It's so simple. No, it's not just protecting itself. It's growing. It's growing itself. So while we're here taking these levothyroxine, Synthroid, all of this, this is basically keeping us in the vicious cycle of TSH to not allow for the TPOs, the thyroid peroxidase, to process its own formation, its own thyroid formation. The thyroid is trying to formulate itself again, okay? Grow back itself again, okay? And it does it through the cells. And basically these cells, they sacrifice themselves. The white blood cells sacrifice themselves with giving oxygen, okay? Manipulating their own species from the atomic world to basically build a different species, okay? Different cells to build back the thyroid. Do you understand? Do you understand? This is mind-blowing to me. This is mind-blowing to me. So all the while the doctors are like, oh, your thyroid antibodies are causing an immune response and it's causing your cells to attack themselves. They're not attacking themselves. It's your white blood cells sacrificing themselves to be able to structure and tap into the atomic realm to create. And here it is. You could see it all for your fucking own eyes. Okay? You could do this search for your answers with your fucking own eyes. Okay? And check this shit out. There it goes. The activation of hydrogen peroxide by heme peroxidase, okay, generates intermediate species, okay, with high valence, capable of abstracting electrons from different substrates. Peroxidase can be produced by bacteriums. Your own fucking cell, degranulates. Let me go over this again for those that are still stuck. Okay? Your own eosinophil, which is a white blood cell, okay, degranulates in order to oxygenate, okay, in order to give hydrogen peroxide to be able to make upon a new species to tap into the atomic realm, okay, to go ahead to start the process to do organification, which is the biochemical process that takes place in the thyroid gland, okay? And of course, the thyroid gland does need minerals, okay? Because your blood cell, okay, your beautiful blood cell needs minerals, okay? It needs something to make the protein, okay? They're living entities that are making do what it do. They're hustling and bustling and working, okay? So they need iodine, okay? That's not a fucking brainer, okay? That's something known. If you got low thyroid hormones, you need iodine minerals, okay? Which is, by the way, highly affected by the globe, okay? Because, the iodide content inside our foods is gone. Because they manipulate that. They literally manipulate that. But organification is basically your fucking organs trying to fucking grow. trying to repair themselves. All while we're trying to, the medical industry is fucking them up with not allowing them to. Check it out. It says right here, the process of organ formation. What does that mean? What does organification mean? The process of organ formation. It is the process of organ formation. Like, it's literally trying to rectify stuff. It's trying to, get it together for you, baby. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy, bro? I never heard of this word in my fucking life. That's why I was like, okay, what does that mean? Because I knew what it means. I know what it, you know what I mean? I know what the fuck it means. But I was like, let me see what they mean. And it's organification. It's literally your thyroid. And check it out. It literally says right here, organification is a biochemical process that takes place in the thyroid. And the way that the thyroid, again, rectifies itself, tries to bring itself back to life and grow, is through the use of these minerals, which is the iodine mineral. So if you have thyroid problems, what you need to do is stay away from that fucking levothyroxine, Synthroid, and get you a good iodine herb, an iodine containing herb. And I got those herbs. I have multiple iodine containing herbs, high iodine containing herbs. And then just allow for your thyroid to fix itself. If you do not, okay, so this is the thing. Let me get another piece of paper. Give me a moment. If you got your thyroid taken away from you, if you got your thyroid extracted from you through a surgery, through an operation, then you're screwed. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that your body's not trying to do what it do to try to rectify it and bring on its organification. You could grow back thyroid glands. You can. But you got to give your body the proper minerals and the proper lifestyle in order to do so. And the majority of us don't have that ability to. So if let's say this is your head, right? This is your neck, whatever. If they took out your thyroid gland, then you're going to have to take, the synthetic form, levothyroxine, Synthroid. You're going to have to take that on for the rest of your life. And the reasons why is because they fucking took that shit out. So, if you do not have your thyroid gland, if you went through an operation and they took it away from you, then that's how they got you. This is how they got you. This is where they got you going back forever, for life. They got you going back for life and spending your money, and getting this hormone. Okay, which is synthetically derived. It's made, this hormone was synthetically. You have high TPO because they say that TPO happens because it's a immune response, autoimmune response. But that's not true. Now, this is not to say that you don't have parasites or microbes or bacteriums. Okay? You do have this. We all have this. Okay? We all have parasites, microbes, and bacteriums because that's what makes us us. Okay? But this is not to say that that cell that we were talking about, the one with the proteins, is not making them from atoms in order to repair the thyroid. You see what I'm coming from? Do you understand? The way that you could repair your thyroid I'm so sorry, but it's just like I'm writing with marker on these pieces of paper. It's so annoying. Let me get another piece of paper for you. I'm going to get multiple sheets. Hold on. I'm trying to recycle here. Give me a second. So, check it. Thank you so much for understanding. For those that have followed along with me, you know, it's a shame that there was over 100 people in here, but they were just not meant to know. They were just not meant to know. So they're probably gonna forever have this problem, you know. And what can I do? Nothing. Some people are gonna be made to listen to, you know, others to be able to find answers. Healing the thyroid. Okay, what do you want to do to heal the thyroid? We're going to go through this together, right? So we just went over the topic about this cell, right? This white blood cell, which is called the eosinophil. Okay? Right? We were just talking about this white blood cell, right? If you want to heal the thyroid, you want to reduce the load of the white blood cells inside of your body. Reduce the load of this cell. And why do you need to reduce the load off this cell? And how are you going to do that? Well, by first doing a parasite cleanse. Okay? The reasons why is because if this cell is too busy fighting other parasites in your gut, other parasites in your colon, other parasites in your bloodstream, other parasites anywhere in your body, it's going to take away its ability to focus on the thyroid. Right? Right? Follow along with me here now. Follow along with me here. Okay? So you want to do this. You want to do a parasite cleanse. How do you do a parasite cleanse? Okay? I'll show you and I'll tell you how. Get away from parasitic foods. Get away from parasitic foods. Oh, but what are parasitic foods? I'll tell you. Meat, dairy, grains. These are very parasitic. They bring on very different other cells, okay, that are microbes, which equals to parasites, possible parasites. You don't want that at all, okay? Stop with this first and foremost, okay? Number one, you want to get on, what do you want to get on? Raw, whole foods, okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You cannot fake it, do it wrong, fuck up. You stop, okay? If you want to get this taken care of, this is the only way, okay? Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. This is the only way, okay? Because again, these foods, your physical body was created to eat, okay? Your literal physical body was created to eat raw, whole foods with fruits and vegetables, plant matter, okay? Okay? But predominantly fruit. You were made to eat predominantly fruit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Don't argue because you won't win. You were made to eat predominantly fruit. If you're eating anything aside from fruit, you're detrimenting your body. Okay? Great. So you want to go ahead and eat raw whole foods. Then, because you're eating raw whole foods, you want to supplement. I hate that word. Fuck that word. I don't like that word. You want to eat the herb with better iodine content. What is that? It's a mineral. It's a mineral. Okay? It's unfortunate, but the truth of the reality is that if you go to Walmart, if you go to Rite Aid, if you go to Walgreens, if you go to your local pharmacy, they're going to have the synthetic version, which is ultimately a lie. It's a lie. Don't get it. Get herbs. Okay? Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. Okay? With eating herbs that have high iodine content, this will allow your cells to use. With your cells being able to use the appropriate minerals, right? Let's just say this is the mineral, right? Then it could do its job. You give something the money, the cell will do its job. And of course, you want to be consistent with eating raw whole foods. If you start eating hot dogs, okay, or cheese, or processed fake foods, this would hinder your cell. This will hinder your cell in order to do the organification. Do you understand? And then you want to stay consistent. Actually, you don't want to just be consistent. You want to stay on for your life. What do I mean by that? Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. With doing what? With eating raw whole foods. That's exactly how you're supposed to live your life, no matter what. So, if you're looking for some capsules, natural herbal capsules, I do have it on the store, on the website. You could source your herbs from me. You know, it's, I literally have healed, and you